I was speaking at a women's conference in a packed little church in rural Texas one evening when I became aware of a solitary man in the crowd. I wondered if perhaps he was the pastor listening in to what was being shared with the women in his congregation. I noticed that he kept his head down, turned slightly toward the aisle. Well, when the evening was over and most of the women had left, he came over to my book table and introduced himself and his beautiful daughter. As he turned his head to fully face me, I saw the scars cruelly etched into the left side of his face and skull. He thanked me for my message and for my transparency that night. I had shared my own internal scars from a battle with clinical depression and mental illness. I didn't have to ask him for his story as he gladly shared it with me. He told me that when he was 15 years old, he put a gun under his chin and pulled the trigger. In the millisecond between the bullet leaving the chamber and entering his skull, he heard a voice ask, "Do you want to live?" Recognizing this as the voice of God, he said, "Yes." Now he's married with grown children and a ministry to hurting teens. I asked him if the scars are a daily reminder of that devastating choice he'd made. He said, no. He told me through a slightly crooked, warm smile that they're a daily reminder of the grace of God. But let me ask you to think about something. Why did Jesus choose to rise on that glorious resurrection morning, still bearing his scars? He could have chosen to leave the marks of crucifixion in the tomb, but he did not. Instead, they became the very proof to his friends that he was alive. He was the Christ, risen from the dead. Remember? Suddenly Jesus was standing there among them. "Peace be with you," he said. As he spoke, he showed them the wounds in his hands and his side. They were filled with joy when they saw the Lord. I don't know whether your scars are internal or external, but I do know this. God will do beautiful things in and through a broken life when we give him all the pieces. Would you allow God to tell his story through your scars?